The 5 stories the mainstream media refused to report to you this week. Number 1. The New York Times released what they called a bombshell report, claiming they got their hands on President Trump's personal tax returns. They said they found in 2017 that Trump paid only $750 in personal income tax. The New York Times called this a scandal and insinuated that Trump's tax avoidance was shady and bad. But did the tax returns show Trump breaking any laws? No, not at all. Did Trump's tax returns expose secret Russian collusion like we've been told by the mainstream media? No, nothing. Did the New York Times show that Trump actually paid millions in taxes? Yes. But did the mainstream media report on any of that? No. The mainstream media pretended the New York Times article was a bombshell, when really it was a nothing burger. I mean, who pays more in taxes than they're legally required? Number 2. A new report from the Senate GOP shows Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, received millions of dollars in transactions from foreign individuals while Joe was vice president, including receiving a $3.5 million wire transfer from Elena Baturina, the wife of the former mayor of Moscow. Hunter Biden also received transfers from entities controlled by Yi Jianming, a Chinese businessman who was deputy secretary for a front group for the People's Liberation Army. Hunter Biden's investment firm then got a Chinese Communist Party business license after visiting Beijing with his dad while Joe Biden was vice president. And Hunter Biden paid thousands of dollars for Eastern European hookers that may have been sex trafficked by Russian mafia. But did the mainstream media report this to you? Nope, they barely mentioned it. Number 3. President Donald Trump signed an executive order protecting babies who were born alive regardless of prematurity, disability, or circumstances of birth. This is what the order reads, and I quote, "It is the policy of the United States to recognize the human dignity and inherent worth of every newborn or other infant child, regardless of prematurity or disability, and to ensure for each child due protection under the law." The order reads, every infant born alive, no matter the circumstances of his or her birth, has the same dignity and the same rights as every other individual, and is entitled to the same protections under federal law. Such laws include the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, which guarantees in hospitals that have an emergency department each individual's right to an appropriate medical screening examination and to either stabilizing treatment or an appropriate transfer, end quote. In addition, this executive order directs the Department of Health and Human Services to defund any non-compliant programs or activities. But did the mainstream media report this to you? No. The mainstream media is in the pocket of the left, and the left wants to refuse medical care to babies born alive after botched abortions. Number 4. During the first presidential debate on Tuesday night, Joe Biden refused to answer whether he will pack the Supreme Court if he's elected president. He simply wouldn't answer if he would fundamentally transform the judicial branch of our government, even though many people in his own party are calling for him to do it. He wouldn't tell you what he plans to do. And what's worse, Joe Biden knew the mainstream media would give him a pass and allow him to deflect like this. And sure enough, did the mainstream media report that Biden wouldn't answer the question? No, they didn't. The mainstream media mostly stayed silent. Number 5. According to a Telemundo online poll, a whopping 66% of Spanish-speaking Americans said President Trump won the first presidential debate against Joe Biden, while only 34% said Biden won. But did the mainstream media report this? Of course not. Instead, CNN's Dana Bash called the debate a shit show. Since the mainstream media refuses to report any of that to you, I will.